Hey guys, we are going to study about MCS-011, that is problem solving and programming. That is problem solving and programming. Problem solving and programming. Block-1, Unit-1. The chapter is problem solving and programming. Problem solving. Now we have to study about the problem. First question is problem. Before going to study about the entire course, first of all you should know about the problem. What is the problem? Exactly. First question is, what is a problem? In general sense, we can say problem is nothing, but it's a situation where the people get themselves as a helpless one. It means whenever we need some help, otherwise we are not able to solve any problem, we are not able to get the entire solution of the problem, we can say we are in a problem. Problem, overall we can say, problem is the situation. A problem is a situation where we found ourselves as helpless. Problem is a situation where we found ourselves as helpless one. It means we are not able to resolve any issue. Whenever we are not able to resolve any issues, we can say we are in a problem. It is also known as difficult situations. You can say difficult situations. Difficult situations, you can say also it is a difficult situation. Where we need help to come out. It is a difficult situation where we need help to come out. This is the definition of problem. Now the problem, overall, it is also a technique which derives from the skill. Which, first of all, whenever we are going to solve any problem, we should have a problem solving skill. And that skill cannot be bought. That skill cannot comes, that it is only because of experience. The skills always becomes from the experience. Skill always comes from the experience. And whenever we want to solve any types of problem, suppose we are going through a very dangerous situation of coronavirus. That is a problem for us. And if we are able to make any medicines to stop the particular virus, that is called the solution. It means problem is the coronavirus. Solution is to come out from the situation. Here we can have problem and situation. Problem, solutions come from the basically demand. That is totally dependent on demand and supply. Problem is, whenever we are getting demand, we are not able to solve, we are not able to supply. That is called we are in a problem. If we are getting any types of inquiries and we are not able to resolve that inquiry, that is also a problem for us, because we should have good tools and technique to come out from the particular situation. These are the problems. Similarly, now the question is, similarly we are going to study problem solving and programming, and it is through C language. So we should learn, if we are going to learn according to C or programming languages, there are several stages in computer programming languages to solve any types of problem. The computer problem solving process requires some phases. Computer problem solving require phases, requires study of phases. The first phase of the problem is phase 1. Under phase 1, problem definition. The problem definition comes up. Whenever we are going to solve any problem, first of all, we should know and understand the problem. What is the problem exactly? Problem, if you are not able to understand the problem, you are not able to solve the particular problem. So first of all, you should understand the problem, what it is going to say. Suppose, for example, if you wanted to add two numbers, problem is what? Add two numbers. Suppose you wanted to add two numbers, that is the problem. Problem is add two numbers. The next phase is careful planning. Phase 2 is careful planning. Phase 2 is careful planning. Careful planning. What comes up? If you are understanding the problem, you are also able to get the required things, what is required to solve the particular problem. And if you know what are the requirements to solve the particular problem, you should plan what will come after which one. Means what will come after what. For example, we have a problem like add two numbers. Then our requirement is get two numbers basically. This is our requirements. First of all, we'll plan, means we should understand the problem. After understanding the problem, we are going to get two numbers, that is the input. And then the third phase, phase 3 defines logical procession. Logical phase. Here we are getting two numbers. Example, add two numbers. Let example, that is A and B are the two numbers. Now in the logical phase, we shall add A plus B. And the next phase is phase 4. Phase 4 is problem analysis. Problem analysis. Under problem analysis, we will study about the problem is whatever we are planning whatever the problem is, and as per the problem we have planned. After planning, we have considered about the logical phases. After logical phases, we'll analyze whatever we have used previously, that is totally correct or not. If there is any issues, how can we resolve that? It comes under the problem analysis phase. The last phase is persistence. Phase 5. Persistence. Suppose you have a problem, but it is not sure that you will solve your problem once. Whenever you are getting problem, and it needs repetitions basically, because that is the problem for you. You don't know the answer, exact answer. So you have to wander around the answers, wander around the logical phases, problem analysis, and persistence. Persistence means going and again to solve the particular problem. Whenever you are getting any difficulties, you are going to do the entire problem again. Means repetition of the problem is known as persistence. So, and we can say also, before planning, if you say before planning, in planning you should have proper thought process. You can say that is phase 1.1. Problem definition. Under problem definitions, we can have proper thought process. It means you should have proper thought process. After thought process, you can have careful planning. You also can say that is the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, phase 5, phase 6. You may change the phases. It means there are 6 phases of a problem, that is problem definition phase, under which we define the entire problems, what are the basic problem and what the problem exactly need. Under thought process, we think about the problem, we find out the required things, what are the basic requirement of the problem, what are the output of the problem. First of all, we should understand about the output. After considering about the output, we can go for input. And the next one is careful planning. We have definition. We are able to understand. We are getting all those requirements. What are the requirements? We have a careful planning. Means we know how to do in a step-by-step manner. The next one is logical phase. Under logical phase, we'll work with the logical operators and operands, whatever. And then next one is problem analysis. Under problem analysis phase, we analyze the entire problem, that the problem is proper or not, whatever we are doing previously, that is totally correct or not. If not, we must repeat the entire process. That is called the life cycle of the problem life cycle also. The next persistence means the problem, whenever the life cycles repeats again and again to resolve the issues, it is called persistence. These are the 6 phases of the problem. Now, after understanding the problem phases, we must understand how to solve a problem. Before going to solve any problem, before going to solve any types of problem, we need to write algorithm. And what is the algorithm? As I told you, before going to solve any problem, we should plan it and write the algorithm, particular algorithm. Algorithm is a basic process of solving any types of problems. And the question is algorithm. After first question is, what is an algorithm? What is an algorithm? In general sense, all people used to say algorithm is a step-by-step procedure to solve any problem. Yes, that is right. Algorithm is a set of step-by-step procedure to solve a problem. But we can say an algorithm is the finite set of steps. That is a good one. An algorithm is the finite set of steps to solve any problem. An algorithm is the finite set of steps to solve any problem. In this, we have discussed finite set of steps. Means steps should be finite. It should not be infinite. It should be finite. And every step should have their meanings and their measurement also. Under measurement, we can say there is complexities. So, we understand an algorithm is the finite set of statements to solve any problem. But how does algorithm come up? Algorithm आया कैसे? Basically, the word algorithm comes from the Persian author. The algorithm comes from Persian author Abdullah Jafar Muhammad IBN Musa Al-Fazmi. The word algorithm comes from the Persian author Abdullah Jafar Muhammad IBN Musa Al-Kazmi in 19th century. According to Abdullah Sahab, it is the well-defined set of rules which has finite set of steps also to solve the particular problem. Algorithm is the finite set of rules which is used to solve the particular problem. It can have many features, and there are so many criteria to follow up to comes to the algorithm. Basically, it has finite set of criteria also. Now, first of all, study about the features. Basically, what are the features of an algorithm? Features. First feature, you can say proper understanding. If you are not able to understand any problem, you cannot able to write algorithm. If you are not able to write algorithm, you are not able to resolve the particular issue also. So, first of all, first feature is proper understanding. According to algorithm, we can understand the particular problem. Next one is use of process. Use of procedures. If you are able to understand, you can use the process, means you can adopt any procedures according to algorithms. If you have good algorithm, you can understand the problem. You can have procedure, means what will come after which one, and choice of variable. Choice of variable, you can say variable name too. And the next one is documentation of the program. Documentation of the program means we can say an algorithm has 4 features, that is proper understanding, use of procedure, choice of variable name, and documentation of the problem. Under proper understanding, we can understand the problem. Under use of procedure, what should come after which one, as we have already studied about the problem phases of the problem. According to phases of the problem, we have choice of variables name also. We can have step-by-step procedure, and under steps we can select the name of the variable, which types of names will be better for the particular situation. And the next one is documentation of the problem. If we have proper algorithm, we can make the documentation in a well manner. These are the basic things, and these are the features of the particular algorithm. Now, criteria. What are the criteria for writing an algorithm? Every algorithm has some criteria. That is, first one is input. If you wanted to solve any types of problem, it needs some input. Second one is output. Every algorithm or every program has some output, because if you have you do not have any requirement, we cannot solve any problem. So output is there. Third one is what? Third one is definiteness. Suppose, as we have taken an example of add 2 numbers. Example is add 2 numbers. Add 2 numbers is the example. Input are 2 numbers. Output sum of 2 numbers. Definiteness, it has a result. It is a definite result. It means we need a particular result. The fourth one is finiteness. Finiteness proves finite set of steps. It should have finite number of steps. It should not have infinite set of steps. That is finiteness. And the fifth one is effectiveness. Every step should be effective for the particular algorithm. And if we are writing any algorithm to keep all those things in our mind, we can have a good algorithm for the particular problem. And if we are able to write but good algorithm, we can able to write good program, and that will be better for us. These are the basic things about the algorithm. Now let an example of algorithm. Suppose we have taken an example of adding 2 numbers. Algorithm to add two numbers. That is a step-by-step procedure, so we should always start from the step. And an algorithm has the first step as start. Step 1, that is start. Step 2. Problem is what? Algorithm to add two numbers. If you are able to you require to add two numbers. If you require to add two numbers, the basic thing is क्या? You should have two numbers to add. Then you can write in two ways. I'm showing that. We can say also input two numbers, or you can also write in this way: step 1 start, step 2. Step 2, on the step 2 we defines the variables. If we wanted to add two numbers, we need two memory locations where we can store two numbers. So then define variables number 1, number 2. Number 1 and number 2 also. That is the definition phase, identification phase also. Step 3, input two numbers. There is one more step in this one, but it is clearly defining, means we need two variables. Input two numbers, that is number 1 and number 2. Here also we can have number 1 and number 2. We have taken as input. Now step 3. And the 3 are in according to this step 4. This is straightforward and this is clearly defining each and everything. So add two number, add both numbers and store the result in memory location so here sum is equal to number 1 plus number 2. Add, here we have sum also, both numbers and store the result. Sum is equal to number 1 plus number 2. The next step is step 4. Print sum. After this is the declaration phase or input phase, this is the process phase, and this is the output phase. So already we have studied about the criterias, input, output, definiteness, finiteness, or effectiveness. Good. Input is there, process is there, now output. After output it will go to stop. The process, the algorithm is completed by us in this way. In this way also, step 5, print sum. Step 6, stop. Don't forget to write start and stop. Start is the first step and stop is the last step. And in between start and stop, we should have each and every processes whatever we do. These are the basic example of a basic algorithm. Now, how it works basically? An algorithm always works with the help of the process and with the help of required things. We have already studied in other courses. Output is the first part of anything. First we think about the output, then we consider about the inputs. According to output we can have input. So an algorithm is clearly defined by flowchart. Now the question is, what is a flowchart? A flowchart is a graphical representation of an algorithm. A flowchart is the graphical representation of an algorithm. A flowchart is the graphical representation of an algorithm. It means whatever we have written in the program, in algorithm, we can represent it in a graphical manner. So if you are going to represent in a graphical manner, we should must understand what are the shapes and figures are required for graphical representation of an algorithm. So now, the symbols or shapes used in an algorithm are the symbols or shapes used in an algorithm are, first one is oval. It is to start and stop. It is to start and stop. Rectangle, that is to process.